Hey,
All
good
right.
evening, good evening.
Hello there, everybody. And look what we got tonight. Captain Ron.
Hey,
Woo!
hey.
Hey,
You never know who can show up at night.
Yeah.
hey.
When it gets dark, they come out of the woodwork.
Yeah, there you
Yep.
go.
I'm out.
I'm trying to get on. I always have the same problem, just getting on Marketplace. I mean, on this other thing.
Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah, I get on it, but it doesn't show up right away. I don't know why. Hota just doesn't like me. Let's see if it should show up sooner or later.
Hota likes everybody.
Hey, Donald,
No,
good evening.
yeah. All right. Well, that's all I can do until it shows up. Hasn't showed up yet, you know. So it's going to be cold again tonight.
Yeah,
Super.
just when we were getting used to the warmer weather.
And you want us to go fishing on Wednesday,
Hmm.
freshwater fishing, Mike.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what Ron said? It better be worth it or you're going to get wet.
Uh, it'll it'll be good. The cold weather
No,
will be good.
it'll be fun. It'll be a different
Yeah, it's going to be
change.
different,
It'll
all
be a
right.
change of scenery.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it'll be fun to be out there on the river or lake and catch some crappie. So yeah, it'll be fun.
I mean, I'm looking forward to that.
Hmm. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, you know.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, the lake levels are still low because of the drought, but so far it's kind of kicked off just a little bit. So I mean, shoot, you can't go offshore right now and do any sheep's head fishing because the wind is so bad. So hey, go in and find a bunch of crappie. Got to do something.
Yeah.
Get out there on the
Well,
water.
Hota, did you send me the link?
Yeah, it should
I
be up.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. What can I tell you?
Hmm.
It's my luck. Unless I go to a different one. You guys talk. I'm gonna try to see if I can resolve this little problem here.
Us guys talk.
I always have this little problem. I don't know why.
Yeah. Well, I guess we could say that what March 6th, 7th, and 8th, Tampa Boat Show's up,
Yeah, and Ron's going to be there too. He's going
and
to be there
Ron's going to be
Saturday.
there.
Yeah.
I'll be
And
there.
I think Janan and
So
Hal will be there, and
All
the
right.
whole crew.
yeah, yeah. So if you're not doing anything on the 6th, 7th, or 8th, come on out. Actually, mostly 7th and 8th, right?
Yeah, well, it's Friday, but hey, a lot of
Yeah,
people are off on Friday, or they don't want to work on
yeah. If
Friday.
you're off on Friday, yeah, just come on out and meet us all. I don't know that I'll be there on Friday. I'm going to try, but I'll definitely be there Saturday, Sunday.
You're not
But
doing seminars on Friday?
huh?
Are you doing seminars on Friday? I thought you were.
Was I doing on Friday?
I
I
don't
don't know. I
know.
got to look at the schedule again.
If you are, you'll be there, right?
Yes, yes. If I am
No,
scheduled,
you're
I'll
not.
definitely be.
You're not.
Yeah, Saturday, Sunday.
Yes, yeah.
That's what I thought it was.
I got Larry Fritz on Friday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because I can't remember if I got charters on Friday or not that day, but it's usually what happens.
All right.
But I know Saturday, Sunday's there. So yeah, if you're in the area, Tampa, there, we'll be there. We're doing seminars, and we'll have our be at the booth and come by and say hey. Yeah, if you're.
All right. Hey, guess what? I finally got it on there.
You did.
Good. Good.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. And let's see. We're going to do. There's going to be some good seminars going on. A
Mhm.
lot of learning. And also, anybody's interested, we could use a few more volunteers for June 6th for the kids fishing clinic
Yeah.
over at Picnic Island Park. The mayor's going to be there, the Tampa Police Department, the Tampa Police Dive Team, CCA, FWC is going to be there. And Mike, you're going to be doing a thing on scalloping.
Yep.
We got another captain doing on knot tying, another captain on using fishing with artificials. So it's going to be pretty good. I think it's going to be
Mhm.
pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. Just in case somebody doesn't know, Picnic Island is in South Tampa.
Yeah. It's a nice place. They got a nice little beach. And what we do is all the kids get there at 9 o'clock. We have about 10 different stations. We teach them everything about fishing with the parents, including conservation and everything else. And then every kid's going to get a rod and reel, a little tackle. Gandy Bait and Tackle usually gives us the shrimp. And
T-shirt, they get a nice
and-
T-shirt.
yeah, I don't know if they're going to get. We're looking at the budget first before we say T-shirts, because that eats
Okay.
up a lot of the budget. And then after that, we can fish for a little bit, and then the food comes in, and we'll have nice Cuban food for everybody.
Ah, that again. Yay.
Mhm.
That was
And-
delicious.
And I
Sergio-
understand that the
Sergio
part-
hand makes 150 Cuban sandwiches.
No, I don't. But I tell you what, we went through 180 last year, and we went through over 200 empanadas. We ran out of empanadas.
Yeah, there
he
wasn't
made
much
extras.
left.
No, and those little
No.
croquettes, they were all gone.
Yeah,
I mean, believe me, we went through some food.
it.
You know?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
No doubt, and it's all good food. It really is. I took I think I got at least one plate of leftovers I took home, but it was great. It's good.
Because we're not only got to feed the parents and the kids, but we got to feed the police department that's there. They volunteer, and they do a super good job for us.
Yeah.
And the mayor usually, she gets there about 9:30, 9:45, and stays for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, because she's a busy lady. But again, it's nice. The kids like to see her, and and of course a lot of the parents do too. So yeah, that every little bit helps. And let's
Yeah.
see, we got Ken's listening in. We got Donald. I don't know who you got at your end.
Yeah, Ken and Donald. That's who I see right now.
Yep. Yep.
So, yep.
So we're getting there now. Today we did a good thing with Ron and Janan, and a couple of the shows that are coming up. We actually went to her house, and she did steamed fish, how to do it, how to cook it, sheep head and Key West grunts, and then that's going to be tied to one show that we filmed a couple of weeks ago. And then when we go down to the Keys and we catch some yellowtails, she actually cooked a yellowtail snapper,
Oh, nice.
fried it a different way, and that's going to be added to that show when we go down there in May.
Yep. Yep.
So and she did a great job. Let me tell you, she was prepared. I have not had steamed fish before, or I did maybe in China, but it was good. She did a great job. I mean, it was really good.
Nice.
Very, very healthy.
O'Donnell won't be around. He's got to go up there for his nephew's wedding. Yeah. That's the first time he's going to miss it. He's never missed one before.
No.
No, he's been to every one of them. So we got to get a kayaker to replace him,
What do you need?
or somebody that, like, he would bring his kayak and all this stuff, and part of his tent was, remember, to teach the kids about safety on the water with the kayak, and how to fish from a kayak, and the equipment that you needed on a kayak and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Unless Pam, but trouble with Pam is a lot of times she's fishing these tournaments.
Right.
So you can't count on her. She tries, but so if we got anybody that's a big kayaker out there that really wants to help us to educate the kids, we welcome your help.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put some feelers out around here, see if I can get somebody to do it. I know we got a ton of them here in Ozello, so
Yeah.
see if anybody's interested in coming on down and showing the kids all the safety equipment and everything that's needed and the fun of kayaking.
Yeah, and Ron's going to be there to show them how to catch redfish.
There you go.
Whatever I can do to help, Sergio. I'm just here. I'm here for you.
Oh God! Well, to me, I really enjoyed to see the kids smile, how much fun they have when they learn. Especially a couple of times in the last few years, they actually catch a couple of kids caught redfish from the beach.
Yeah, nice ones.
Yeah, not real big ones, but can you imagine a little kid catching his first redfish right there at the beach after doing this? So,
Yeah.
Let's see, I gave away life jackets, 2 rods and reels combos, and a bunch of tackle. Next year I will make it for sure. Yeah, you might have another nephew get married, or niece or somebody.
Yeah.
But just tell them not juice, whatever we're going to have it on that day,
Mhm.
Plan around
good.
it. Right?
plan around it. So
Yeah.
now tell us a little bit about the filming that we're going to be doing too, because Ron and I Ron's a big freshwater fisherman, he tells me, but I'm not.
Yeah.
So
Well, yeah,
what are
I-
we going to go fish for?
I grew up.
So we're gonna go fish for some crappie over here in Lake Henderson, just in Inverness, using just some light tackle, some jigs, and some Missouri minnows, and just get up on the school of crappie and just have some fun. And more than likely, we'll probably catch every once in a while. We catch some pickerel, some bass, whatever else is just kind of hanging around with them. But yeah, we're just gonna go out there to the lake and see what we can accomplish out there, because right now it seems to be pretty good with the bite. I don't think this cold front's going to knock them down too bad right now, but so far
I don't know. It's going to be freezing up there.
Yeah, it's
It's
going
gonna
to
be
be
31
cold,
here.
but by Wednesday, with the north winds kind of slowing down tomorrow, it's warming back up a little bit. The Gulf temp only hit or just a higher 60s. So after this evening, like I said, I don't think it's going to cool our waters down enough to where it's going to shut anything down. I think it's just going to, a few degrees, but I don't think it's going to shut things down. So I think we're going to be good.
All
Get out
right,
there and
Ron, I'm
run
bringing my
across the
gloves.
lake.
Bring your gloves.
I'm bringing
Bring
my
some gloves, everything. It'll be warmed up. I think it's going to be about 70 by the time about noon that day. So it's not going to be cold for very long, but
It'll be
we can-
nice.
we can take our time getting over there, so we're not freeze to death. But we're gonna go with a friend of mine, Misty Kelly. She does this every winter time, fall through March or so, April. Gets out there and catches some crappie. A lot of times she'll do it in the Withlacoochee River, but the water levels are so low, the river is just almost unnavigable with larger boats. So.
Wow.
If you got a Go Devil or something like that, no problem. But yeah, it's a little treacherous, a little rocky. So we're going to stick with the lake and go from there. But,
All
yeah.
right. I'm excited because I've never done that kind of. The only freshwater fishing I did was years and years ago with old Doug Hannon for bass out of his backyard. He had a spring fed pond or lake in his backyard.
Oh, so
And-
that was
and-
eating though.
Oh, I mean, it was. He told me to come on over, and all we did, he says, come over by 11:30 on a Saturday, and I went over to his house, and we sat there, and he gave me a Coke. He didn't drink beer or anything. He was a Coke drinker. And about 12:45, he kept looking at his watch. He says, now we're going to go get a couple of big bass. And we got in this old John boat with oars, and he had two rods. Now, here's a guy that's got when he was alive, had a lot of money. He was a bass professor for ESPN. Two old rods with purple worms hanging on them. I think the hooks were half rusted out, right?
Yeah.
And he says, the feeder goes off at 1 o'clock. We paddled, over to this feeder in the middle of this pond, right? And right about 1 o'clock, he says, "Okay, just start and just do this." And I got two big bass. I mean, big bass. That was my whole experience.
Yeah, sounds like one of my trips to Dallas. A friend of mine lives over there in Dallas. I don't think he lives there anymore, but he says, we're talking fishing back and forth, and I used to fly to Houston a lot. And he says, you need to come to the house, go to my little lake and catch some fish. And that's what we did. We went over there, pulled the boat on the back of his truck, got in there with oars and just tooled around. But we caught a bunch of bass. It was fun. Just simple, easy fishing all afternoon. But yeah.
Well, they tell me the pond behind my house has bass and has all kind of fish now. Water table's really low, and I see a lot of fish getting eaten by the birds because, unless they get into the deeper holes. But I would say behind my house, there's no more than 2 feet deep.
Wow.
Most of the areas. You see a spot that might be 3 or so, but it's down about 5 feet. They told me the pond's usually about 6 feet deep, 7 foot deep, and it has a lot of bass in it, but we've had such a bad drought. So I'm looking forward to some rain and the water get full, and and those bass will grow pretty quick.
Yeah.
They'll multiply.
Sergio, if you wanted to, you could bring your bait bucket and a little cast net, and we could transfer some fish to your pond if you want to.
There you go. We'll take some.
Yeah,
you take
the
crappie back to
problem
your-
is
take
I'm
it back to
afraid
your
that
lake.
I'm afraid they're gonna get eaten by the birds. It's not enough water right now.
Yeah.
But that's a good thought. Once we start getting some water, yeah,
Uh-huh.
go
There you
get a
go.
bunch and stick them in a live well and just dump them back there
Yeah.
and let them multiply because they do multiply pretty quick, I guess.
They do.
You know,
They
and of
do.
course, you know what I was calling them today, and Ron says, no, 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 that's the right spelling, but the wrong pronunciation.
Oh, call
Yeah.
them crappy.
Crappy,
Crappy.
crappy, crappy.
You
Heck,
say crappie, and I was saying
Yeah.
crappy.
yeah, yeah. There's many names for them. So
Well, that's my Spanish coming out, you know?
yeah, I hear you.
Now, is that the one that you hear these guys bragging? You see them on TV. I used to see them when I was a kid. Is, man, we got some big ones. They're about that big.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I used to look at that. That's pigfish.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's the length of your hand. You want that circle of that body at least the length of your hand or more for good sized keepers.
Now, are they good eating?
They are delicious. They are
Are they?
delicious. They are. It's one of the best little panfish out there in the freshwater. So
Yeah, that's the total reason people fish for them. It's just
yeah,
everybody
they're
that fishes
so
for them keeps them.
delicious.
Because the few freshwater fish that I
People
have
don't-
eaten
People don't fish for them really for sport.
were very bland.
Yeah.
To
No,
me,
they
were
do
bland.
have flavor. They do have a little flavor compared to, say, your largemouth bass. You know, a lot of times you eat bass and there's not much flavor to it. It's just kind of white meat. But crappie do have a little bit of a flavor to them. It's kind of different, but yeah, they're very good.
Now, not to sound dumb or anything, but is bass a fish that people will keep to eat, or it's just mostly for trophy to catch them?
Well, it depends. I mean, I've kept a few and ate some, every once in a while, but a lot of times, it kind of got away from, especially with the BASS and tournaments and all that kind of stuff. I think it kind of changed a lot of people's view on bass, and a lot of
Yeah.
people just catch them to throw them back.
Yeah.
But they are very good table fare. And every once in a while, I'll take one or two if I'm in Rainbow River or floating down the river, and I'll take my rod and catch a couple decent ones. I'll bring them home. But, I may eat one once every 2 or 3 years. But, and most of the time, if I do go fishing for them, I just throw them back. It's just fun. They're just a fun fish to catch.
One of the things I didn't realize either, that how strict that BASS tournaments are.
Mhm.
There was a guy on Facebook today that I was looking at. He got disqualified for a year.
Mhm.
And the only reason was he was at a shop just before the tournament, like a week before. And, they were talking about the quality of the water and all that. And then some guy comes up and says, oh, yeah, but, over here where you're going, this area, the water's real clear. Man, I got a spot back in there. It's full of bass. And somebody reported that.
Mhm. Yeah.
And they called him in and just took him off the whole circuit for a year.
Yeah.
A whole year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they've got some strict guidelines for those guys. So
But now he's a professional tournament. And he says, I would never do that. And in fact, our conversation was not about bass. It was about the water quality in the lake and all that the tournament was going to be held in. And then this guy just started talking about the area and where there's all these bass were at.
yeah,
And I guess somebody said, oh, apparently this guy's a pretty good fisherman. So somebody that didn't like him thought
oh yeah,
if
yeah.
he wasn't around, they might have a better chance of winning. They
Mhm.
turned him in.
Yep, yep. Yeah, I competed in a lot of bass tournaments, and it's a cutthroat deal. You got to watch your P's and Q's and pay attention to things, and they've got the rules there for a reason. I mean, Lake Eufaula was one of those lakes that there was always controversy about Lake Eufaula in Alabama, and whenever we went for a tournament there, always something going on with either somebody thinks they saw them put a cage in, or they were there 2 days before and they shouldn't have been. I mean, it's horrible. So it's a cutthroat thing, and you got to pay attention.
Man, that's no fun to be in a tournament where you got to be watching over your head all the time.
No, and yeah, it's after a while you just kind of get tired of it, and kind of gave it up. So, yeah, it's just not. It just wasn't fun anymore. Just wasn't fun anymore. So,
One of the trips that I like to do is I want to go and catch striped bass.
there you go. You could probably do that up there in Lake Seminole.
Lake Seminole's got some?
Yeah. I don't know. Probably not too many guides up there. But I'm sure because Lake Seminole up there, Georgia, Alabama, is it Georgia, Florida, Alabama, almost all three kind of share that lake. I mean, it's got the Chattahoochee, Flint, rivers that go into it, and it's a massive place. You don't go out of the channel marker without being off plane, and you don't go on plane without being in the channel marker. It's a very dangerous lake, but
Why?
you see
A lot of rocks?
No, trees, submerged trees.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I got thrown out of the boat one time. It was on the trolling motor, but yeah, I mean, the boat bumped. I was trying to go one way, hit me another. You tend to go over the side. So it's a little bit funny, but yeah, that used to be one of the big lakes that BASS would go to all the time. And there were guides everywhere and all that. And unfortunately, it kind of got overfished for quite a while, but it's made a big comeback.
Because the only time I ever caught, now I caught real big striped bass in the 70s when I first got married. But I call them, we went up to Martha's Vineyard and we were trolling for them the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, I remember what I can remember, it was big rubber squids we were using. And I don't like trolling. I'm not a trolling person. I mean, artificial, plugging, whatever. But this deal about trolling all day long, when we go to Costa Rica, when I get in the captain's boat, he shakes his head because he knows, hey, the first day we can go trolling. Let's get some sailfish. Let's make it look good. The second day, hey, let's go find the tuna where we can throw at them. And then let's fish the reef so we can, and they hate bottom fishing.
Yeah.
Like the big Cubeta snappers. But the trouble with it, they use like 5-pound lids to get down on the reef because of the current.
Right.
And the problem is they lose a lot of lids, and that's not cheap.
No, I can imagine not.
I mean, when we bottom fish, I bet you we lose two rigs every time we go out, 2 or 3 sometimes per boat. So they don't want to do that,
No.
But boy, when you get one of those big Cubeta snappers that are 40, 50 pounders, it makes the whole trip.
Right.
I mean, if you never caught one, they're beautiful. Over there, they're not just red; they got a gold color on their back. They're gold red. They're just gorgeous, just beautiful. It is. But well, let's. What do we get? Let's get Frankie, Tony Franklin in a minute.
Yeah, go for it.
We got 7 fishing reports today.
I know we gotta get moving on them.
That's right. Let's get Tony Franklin in.
Hi, Captain Tony Franklin back once again with this week's fishing report. We're going to start out the week talking about the weather. It's been really chilly, extremely cold for our area. We've been targeting backwater creeks, backwater canals. Water temperatures very, very cold right now. We've had some of the coldest weather we've had in the last couple of years. So what we've been doing this week, we've been going to backwater creeks, backwater canals. We're fishing for sheephead. This week we're catching sheephead. We're catching whiting. There's been a lot of ladyfish in for action. Also been some mangrove snappers. We're just looking for a little warmer weather back in the dark mud bottom, back in the backwater creeks. We're catching smaller size redfish, some medium sized redfish, not really huge redfish. So there's been action out there. You've been using live shrimp, and when we can't get to live shrimp, a lot of the tackle shops have been out this week because the weather's too cold. The shrimp boats really haven't been able to get out and get the shrimp because the shrimp is buried down the bottom. When the water gets colder, the shrimp will bury down towards the bottom. But we're fishing frozen shrimp. When we can get the live shrimp, we're fishing that. Split shot, pretty much fishing it on the bottom. That's your best bet right now because a lot of the fish are on the bottom trying to stay warm. So just mix it up. Get out there. There's some fish out there biting. You just got to change your strategy in the area you fish. And get out there and catch some fish. Tight lines, and I'll see you next week.
Thank you, Tony. And see, it's
Thank you,
all
Tony.
bundled up. So, it was a little cold.
Yeah. So Adrian saying, hoping something turns the reds up. Yeah. Red bite has been a little slow because of the cool. I've got my report that kind of tells you what I've been successful on catching those. But yeah, the cooler weather, I'm waiting for that red bite to really kick in. I miss catching several reds a day. Now it's just you're fighting for a bite. So
Well, March
hope
is
they'll
coming
change it.
up. It should start. Well, we've had out of the last 5 years, we've had 2 or 3 Aprils that we've had cold weather,
yeah, yeah,
almost in the middle of April.
yeah. Well, you
That's
can
why we
always
haven't got any baits.
you can always expect a little cool front around Easter. I mean, it's almost like clockwork every year. Somewhere around Easter, we're gonna have another little cold snap that comes through for a couple days. But if the water warms up enough, up in the higher 70s, it won't affect it too bad. But every once in a while, it happens. Jessica's on there. Hey, Jessica. Josh David's on there. He's been
Kim,
bass fishing.
Alejandro.
Yes.
Alejandro's on there. Yeah, he's on there. Now, Ron.
Yes, yes, sir.
Well, why don't you tell us about all the trout you got in your backyard? Because they don't really live, but you can tell us about it.
Well, yeah, I've got a lot. I live on the water, and I've got a dock light, and there's a lot of trout around it this time of year, so they're not too hard to catch. I
need to come visit you in the evening then.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll do that because you know what I love to do is hit my fly rod on them. That is so much fun.
You can do it. They're pretty active. I usually catch them and let the dogs get all excited. And,
yeah.
But
maybe we ought to do a nighttime show from your dock.
We
There
could.
you go.
We could.
Yeah.
Give Hoto a real good challenge.
Now I was with Sergio last week. We went fishing, and Sergio, you did catch a very nice redfish.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
It was a very slow day, but one nice redfish. What, 30 inches?
Very end.
Yeah, it was a nice fish.
That might be not a bad idea for a show because there's a lot of people, especially during the summertime, do a lot of dock fishing at night.
Oh yeah,
That might not be a bad idea.
it's very.
We pocket it for the following year or something.
And here's the good part. Ron has got his boat right there.
Yep.
All you
it's
got to do
very
is put it in
productive.
the water. We get 10 feet from his dock.
There you go. That's it.
And then actually hang a couple of GoPro cameras off your dock under the water, one almost on the bottom, one mid-water. And then Hota gets in the boat with us, and we fish your dock.
There you go. We'll do it Bill Dance style.
And if you're smart enough, you start in April, you start chumming them at night when the light goes on.
There you
So
go.
by the time we get there, they're all chummed up.
Well, the one downside to dock light fishing is that usually you can get 1 or 2 fish, but they're very sensitive.
I've got a secret for that too.
So you can't catch 10 fish on one light. So.
No.
Does your neighbor have a light?
A couple neighbors do, yeah.
There you go. There's 2 or 4 more.
Oh no, that's if you're going to dock light fish, you have to work all the lights.
Yeah.
We always did that at John's Pass. We did a lot of dock light fishing years ago, and we do a lot over there. And that's the best way to catch big snook, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, at night.
Yeah.
We used to drift large shrimp, free line them, and we used to cast them in the dark and let the current bring them through the dark into the light. And man, those fish would come out of that dark. For some reason, they wouldn't hit them in the dark, but they come out of the dark, and as soon as they hit the light, they would just smack that fish. Snook, redfish, trout, big trout. May and June. Yeah.
You have to be very quiet, and you have to be really good at casting, because sometimes you make a bad cast and that scares the fish too. But it's if you can handle, working the boat the right way and make a good cast and have the right bait, it is probably about as efficient and as effective of catching big snook as you can get.
Yeah.
Of course, you always catch a lot throwing that net on them.
No. I've got a bad back.
Ron says, I better back out of this real quick. I'm getting in trouble.
I got a bad back. I don't like throwing the net too much.
All right, I tell you what, let's get Jim Pace's fishing report in.
Sounds good. Is he there?
Hello, Hota.
What the?
Jim Pace. What happened to Jim Pace?
Hey guys, it's Jim with your Pasco County Fishing Report. This week was kind of a shorter, easier week for me. Got on the water a couple times. Obviously the weather got warmed up there, and the main bite this week for me was trout. Trout was on fire. And you know how they always say you can never get past the one that gets away. I had one of those experiences on Wednesday. I was fishing an oyster bed that I'd seen some mullet around, and I hooked into what I thought was a snook at first. Turns out it was an absolute monster trout. I mean, unfortunately, I lost it at the boat. I didn't quite get the net on it. I was by myself, so I didn't quite get the net on him, but you know, it always gives you nightmares when you lose those big fish like that. It was, I don't know how big he was, you know, when they get to that size, all you see is just this large thing in the water. But he hit on an artificial shrimp. I was actually using a Voodoo, just working that oyster bed with the Procure scent on it. And I got a few reds off of that same oyster bed, smaller rat reds, and then that's when I hooked into this one. This was during incoming tide, was when I was catching all these baby reds, and that big trout was incoming tide on Wednesday when the sun was kind of up. So it wasn't, it was definitely a lot of good moving water this week, so that helped stir up that bite too. Other than that, on shrimp, I was hooking up with some few redfish here and there, working these mangrove lines where hard bottom kind of met the mangroves, and then a few oyster beds were the key, getting these reds. Most of them were all small reds this week. I did see some big reds going across the flats. As I was moving across flats, I saw them. I would spook them and they'd move off. I had some dolphins move in on me quite a few times this week on some backwater. Some of these smaller canals, and I can't believe these dolphin were 3 or 4 at a time coming through there. And, you know, that just completely ruined all the fishing in that area. But whitebait showed up until this cold front. We did see some whitebait. I actually rodeoed one thing of whitebait. Didn't end up catching anything on it other than cutting it up and using it to, when I was trying to chum in some of those big redfish that I saw. But it was showing back up, but it seems like it's probably going to go away with this next week because of the weather changing again, getting cold. So I'm going to try and get out a few times this week. I'm going to wait till like Wednesday or Thursday again when it kind of warms back up. I don't want to go out and get cold again. But other than that, I'll let you guys know going forward how I start to see things develop in our area. Take care.
All right, Jim.
Thanks, Jim.
Got it. I tell you, it's the wind. I was at the marina today after I left you, Ron. Man, I'm telling you, it was blowing.
Yeah, 20, 30 miles. Yeah.
When you came from the side of the marina, there was a couple of gusts that came through that, I mean, it was pushing against you. You almost couldn't even walk towards it. I mean, the wind was pushing you back. It was tough.
Yeah, it's horrible this time of year with that wind. I was out in it a couple days last week, and we just toughed it out. But it's not fun being out there. But,
no, they said it's supposed to be nice by the weekend, a little warmer and everything else. But you know,
be more of a springtime pattern here coming up soon. So that'll be
but
good.
we need some rain.
Oh, so desperately, and I'm afraid with this drought that we've had, I noticed the other day when it did rain, that rain puddled up so fast and washed down. You know, the ground is so dry and compacted that the
Yeah.
water can't get down there. And
Yeah, it doesn't
I'm
soak
afraid
in.
we start getting some good rains in here, we're
It's
going
going
to
to
have a
flood.
little flooding happening.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I think
we need some
that's
just
gonna happen.
light rain on a steady basis.
Yeah.
So let that
Yep.
ground moisture start building back up. And
Mhm.
I think you're right, because you see puddles real easy right now. You
Yeah.
know?
Yep. Yep.
Josh wants to know, where does a white bait go when it gets cold? Just deeper? Well, first thing, live bait doesn't live very long.
No.
Well, I think what bait is what, like a 4-month cycle, 6-month cycle, and it's gone. That's
Yeah.
why they keep. But then you're right. I think what happens when it gets really cold, they go down deep, and then maybe their cycle slows down. I really don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they do. They just kind of move out to deeper waters and try to find a thermocline that's a little more um, accessible to them, and they like it. But yeah, they don't last very long, fortunately. And sometimes that cold will kill them all off real quick. So
Now, I haven't seen any in the bay at all, but then one of the captains said he saw some, Clearwater area. There was some that was just showing up on the flats, which could be,
mhm.
because usually the Gulf water is always warmer than the bay water
Yeah,
because it's more stable, it's deeper, so it
right.
takes longer to cool it down. So I don't know. But yeah, that happens every year. I mean, right after that first cold snap in October or November, whenever it happens, that first strong one, they're gone.
Mhm.
You used to be able to catch them almost all year round with the Skyway.
Yeah,
Remember? And then I think that's even, somebody was saying not too long ago that they were at the Skyway. They weren't a drop of bait, nowhere.
mm-mm.
Now, I mean, I haven't been to Skyway to catch them, so I can't say yes or no about that,
Right.
But
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
Yep. Well, you want to throw another one out there?
Yeah, let's go. Let's jump around. Michael Dawson.
Hey guys, Captain Michael Dawson here, Patriot Guys, are here this week's fishery report and forecast. So this warm weather we've had last week, the fishing's been really firing off. I know we have a couple days of cold weather here. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week is supposed to be a little chilly. We'll be back into the 80s again by the end of this week and into the weekend. So this time of year, we concentrate heavily on our trout fishery. Out here at Anclet, I will put money on saying we have some of the best trout fishery in the state. From now until May, our fish are going to be spawning and in pre-spawn out here. It's going to get these trout really clumped together, big gator trout, easy to catch a bunch of them in one sitting here. Went out with Sergio out here on Monday this week coming up. We caught a bunch of big trout on jigs very easily. The redfish kind of made us work a little harder for them that day, but they said the big trout were real easy, plenty of big ones to be caught. And we were just throwing little 3-4 inch little split tail jigs, and we're catching plenty of these fish. Concentrate on these fish, and anywhere where you're going to have a deep water, shallow water transition, these fish are going to be sitting right on these edges where it goes from, say, 4 feet of water up to a couple inches. Sitting right there waiting to ambush some food, some current flow to kind of get their eggs kind of being flushed out off the system, and they're going to be eating heavy trying to get ready for this spawn. Jigs, big select shrimp, white bait if you can find them, have been the keys for these big trout. White bait we're finding anywhere on the flats from Howard Park as well as the power plant. Some mornings are better than others. It probably still another 2 weeks before it gets really good out here. But as I say, if you put some time in, you'll get plenty of bait out there. Some big redfish schools around right now. They've been moving daily, it seems like. One morning they're in the north end of our area. The next day they're in the south end of our area. Just kind of get on the trolling motor, look around, and you should be able to find these fish out there. Miley wants to say hi for the video here. But plenty of fish to be found, plenty of good fish around. Offshore, the sheep's head bite's still going on strong. You're out there shrimp on any of our nearshore wrecks and out there in 15 to 20 feet of water. Pink jig heads have been working very well for them. Some grouper, some snapper mixed in between. Captain Michael Dawson, Patriot Guide Service. If you're looking to get out there, give us a call. There's plenty of nice fish to be caught in the area. Captain Michael Dawson, Patriot Guide Service.
The dog wanted to get into the action.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh, God.
I
Well,
like his. I like the
that-
pans in the background there. That's all I cook with is those iron skillets.
Let's get Jessica on, because that way make sure we don't leave
Yeah,
anybody
go
out.
for it.
Hey guys, Captain Jessica Hanovic with the Yule Hookem Charters out of Chaskawiska, Florida. I have been sick for about 2 weeks now. My voice is just kind of coming back. So I did get out twice last week. We fished about an hour of the low tide going into high tide, which seemed to turn on the fish pretty good. We caught redfish from about 23 to 27 and 2 overslots, some nice black drum and some sheephead, trout, and we did catch a snook. It was 30 inches. Both of his gill plates were pretty messed up, so I'm guessing that's from either trying to get into some rocks or some mud to try to stay warm with our colder weather. We've been fishing the backwaters and some creeks. This week we're gonna have 2 or 3 days of cold weather. It shouldn't affect them too much. I usually typically don't run GPS, but my friend ran out today and his said 48.8. We've been using shrimp and it doesn't really seem to matter if it's live or dead, with some slip shots, number 5s. So just get out there, be safe. And if you want to see beautiful Chaskawiska, you can book with me at 352-464-7309.
All right. Thanks, you, Jessica. Yeah, a lot of people have been down sick. My son's been sick. His wife has been sick. A lot of people got some kind of a bug.
Yeah, there's some sort of flu going around. We've had a couple people in my house get sick. Mother got sick, brother got sick. So far, I've kind of avoided it. I'm doing good. So
Same here.
they have been down for a week, and 3 days in bed, not moving. It's been pretty tough. So thankfully, that's I've kind of avoided it this time. But yeah. So she said she had 48-degree water, and that was this past week.
It's
right
pretty
now,
cold.
Crystal River, just out there right now, Shell Island around that area is 69 degrees. So hasn't dropped too bad. Because Thursday, Friday when I was out there, it was 70 degrees. So just a degree, but tonight's going to be really cold too. So we'll see.
Well, in my area, it's going to be 31. Tampa, they said, was going to be 38.
38, yeah.
Yeah.
But Wesley Chapel's 31, and I'm a little north of Wesley Chapel now, so I figured 31.
Yeah, we're supposed to, our lowest at 7 a.m. is about 32 degrees. So,
I don't believe that because you're further north than I am, a lot further north.
That's what it says.
I got a feeling you're going to be in the 20s.
33, 32. That's what it says. Don't tell me 20s.
I don't want to get you too excited, but you're going to be in the 20s.
I've got the heater on me right now. Don't tell me 20s.
Oh God. Well, I tell you what, the sheephead bite, if you find them, they're decent size and there's plenty of them, but they're scattered this year. They're not bundled up like most of the places that I could go to, and you would find a bunch, right, Ron? A bunch of the docks that we went to, normally you would show up and you see 5, 6, 7 sheephead around some of the pilings, and you'll find 1 or 2, but you don't see that many.
They're not schooled up. Yeah.
Either the big schools didn't come in, or they're just, I don't know. I don't know what to say. But a lot of the docks that I used to go to, you could pull up, and the water's so clean. You would spot 5 or 6 big sheephead, and there's 3 or 4 more around them. And you pull up, and you'll see 1 or 2 sometimes, circling the. So I don't know, unless they're all getting caught. Yeah.
I don't know. It's started here already. Sheephead bite's been pretty good, but again, you can't get out there because of the wind right now. But it's probably just gonna be late this year, I think, because of the cooler weather.
I like the way you think.
Yeah. There was a guy that used to post a lot on Facebook, and I used to see him from Georgia. And I used to get so upset with this guy because he was trying to promote his business. And every day he had this long table, and I guess this guy took out 4 or 5 people every time he went out. And the table would have 20, 25, 30 sheephead on the table every day. And I'm saying, guy, the people you take out can't eat all those fish every day.
Mhm.
I mean, I could see you got 4 people on the boat and he's going to eat a couple of sheephead, maybe 3, that's 12. But this
Mhm.
guy would have 25, 30, 40 sheephead. I think he try to get limit for everybody.
Yeah.
And does he not understand that that's his family, the way that's how he makes money, taking
Mhm.
people to catch fish. You keep taking that many fish, you're not going to
Yeah.
have any.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
and the thing that bothers me, I guess, is, as a captain, how many fish can a person eat? Firstly, you don't want to freeze fish forever.
No.
So, and I love the guy that gets on your boat and says, yeah, Captain, I got to get a whole bunch of fish for the freezer because I got a whole bunch I got to get rid of. It's so old that I can't eat it.
Mhm.
Don't
Right.
get that many. Get
Yeah.
what you think. If you're really going to eat a lot of fish, you like it. Keep enough for maybe 3 weeks supply, 4
Mhm.
weeks. But some of these people, they want to fill the freezer up until you can't put anything else in it.
Yeah.
And then it gets freezer burn. I don't care if how you prepare it, it's going to get freezer burn after a while.
Mhm. Yeah, it does. And that's the thing. I mean, most of the time, I mean, I'll be honest, there's a lot of people come from out of state and they'll ask me, what's your limit on trout? Because, I do a lot of trout. I'm inshore. A lot of times I say 4 just because, or we'll stop at 4. I'll tell them 5, but I usually stop at 4. I mean, you consider that you've got 2 sides of a fish. That's a piece of meat, and depending on the size, but most of the time, that's going to feed 2 people. One fish will feed 2 people.
Yeah.
So, if you can help it, try to save our resources, and that's the way I look at it. Try to save the resources as much as possible.
Well, I think what happens is people say, oh, you can keep 8 sheephead. Let's keep 8 apiece. Well,
Yeah.
Sheephead is one that make it 5. At least it's better than 15, what it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
But mackerel's still 15.
Yeah.
And mackerel's one fish that you don't want to freeze.
No.
You either want to eat it within a couple of days. If you're going to smoke it as soon as you can. And these people, well, Captain, I'm allowed 15. My buddy's allowed 15. Let's get 30. What are you going to do with 30 mackerel? Especially if they're 20, 21 inch, 22-inch mackerel. One mackerel will feed 3 people.
Mm-hmm.
Easy.
Easy. So how many mackerel do you want to keep?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. All right, let's get Scotty.
This is Captain Scotty Rowe from Charlotte Harbor. I didn't fish the last few days. I actually took the weekend off and went to a gun rights event, which if most of you don't know, I'm a big proponent of the Second Amendment and all our civil rights. So had some fun down there, just listening to speakers, some lawyers and all that good stuff. But earlier in the week, I was on the water every day, doing some doubles, just great fishing. The water warmed up a little bit, and I'll tell you this much, man. We got trout, silver trout, snook, redfish, unfortunately, a little bit small, but hey, we'll take them. Big sheep's head. I ended up getting about 2 dozen of those mangrove crabs given to me. If you know where they live in the mangroves, and you actually got to go catch them yourself. But I'll tell you what, you want to put the hammer down on some sheephead? Wow, that was absolutely wonderful. We caught, I think it was Thursday was my last day. We got a limited speckled trout. We got some silver trout, a couple mangrove snapper, a few snook, just wonderful stuff. But when we put those mangrove crabs down on those sheephead, it was like, wow, bam. It was like a tarpon hitting a ladyfish. It was absolutely wonderful. And I was fishing in the Punta Gorda canals because we had negative tide, so I got to find that deep water. And but I'll tell you what, things are definitely on the rise. I know we got a little cold spell right now, but it's only gonna last a few days, and then we'll be right back on track. And I do have a few days available in late March, but right now we're kind of booked out. So, but if y'all want to come down here fishing and have some fun, we're getting it done. Great stuff. Tight lines, everybody. We'll talk at you next week.
Thank you, Scotty. Hey, those little crabs, remember, Ron? We went and caught some.
Yeah, we went last year. We went and caught a couple dozen of them.
I think
They're
that's maybe something to do
Yeah.
when it's too windy. Maybe just go and start trying to get a bunch of these little tree crabs.
yeah, it's kind of crazy trying to catch them, but it's fun.
It's fun.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's almost the easiest way is put a bucket underneath them and kind of just try to knock them into the bucket than trying to grab them by hand because they're fast.
You got to be
that's good.
fast. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they
are.
fast.
They get around the docks here, and they're just kind of like little cockroaches, just disappear real quick.
Well, let's see. We better get Pam in because then we got your fishing report.
Yep. Go
All right.
for it.
Throw bigger baits. I found this beautiful flounder throwing the no live bait needed K-tail on a BKK twist lock hook and did really well. Also picked up a lot of reds on it. Just remember to keep your action a little slower than you want to. Barely move that bait. Just make sure the tail kind of goes back and forth. If you move that bait too fast, the spinny part of the hook is not going to spin. It'll stay straight and you won't get the action or the hits that you're looking for. Excellent bait. Slow it down. Have fun out there. So I am pre-fishing for the saltwater kayak series here in St. Augustine. And look at this chunky monkey. Everybody told me to throw small baits. I didn't catch anything. Then I moved to the big. Whoa. Here's a nice fish. Hey.
Nice little red fish.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, ma'am. Yeah. Flounder didn't want any more to do with her report.
Uh-oh. And now let's get your report in so we can
Sounds
wrap
good.
it up with your report.
Sounds
Let's get
good.
Michael Haynes' report in.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Captain Mike Haynes, Fishbones Charters out of Crystal River, Florida. Well, unfortunately, this week has been a little windy. I was hoping to get out on some sheep's head, but just could not make it. So, had a couple guys for a few days this week, and we just settled on some trout and redfish, and we had a great time. Caught a bunch of fish because we had to kind of stay out of the wind a little bit. And it was a little tricky, a little sporty, trying to get from one spot to another, but we made it work. Just took our time. But early mornings is when we started to do the redfish when the tide was low. Seems to be the best bite for those redfish is in the low tide time. And it's mainly so they can't get up into those little creeks and kind of disappear. Because once that water shows up and you get those little fingers off of these creeks, they'll disappear in there where you can't get your boat, and they'll stay up in there warm, and they'll feed on crustaceans and stuff way in the back. So we tended to target our redfish, especially in wintertime, on the low tide. For one, the water's warmer, and two, again, they can't get back and get away from us where we can find them. So, but redfish bite was pretty good. It wasn't very fast-paced in any way, shape, or form. We had to soak our baits, and we're talking 20, 30 minutes at times just to get that one bite. So what we did is just, we caught some ladyfish in the river and took that ladyfish and chunked it up. And we'd throw out there and do a couple spots in a little creek and just put them in the rod holders and wait for that line to move. And we got about 4 or 5 bites a day and caught each fish. And it was a good time. But you know, like I said, it was a waiting game. But once they came through, because a lot of these fish are kind of just moving back and forth through these creeks. So they just kind of come by and we pick them up. And when we did that, it was very productive. We did that all days. Any day that we were out there, just kind of sitting up and waiting for them to bite. And we'd fish that for a few hours. And as the tide came in, we were able to get to our another trout spot, which is a little farther south, push through the wind. And once we got there with that incoming tide, the trout bite would just kick on in a certain area in another creek a little farther south of Crystal River. And these trout, they would transition to the lower water, to the deeper holes as the low tide went out. But as that tide started kicking in, they'd kind of set up to where they're right on the edge of where that hole would drop off. So we'd set back a little bit in the shallow waters and just feed our baits down to right in the edge of that hole. And as soon as you did, it was trout after trout after trout. We pulled up, and as soon as we pulled up, every line we threw in just started getting bit. So that was the key, and that was our pattern. We were using shrimp on jig heads, also just free lining as well. And that just seemed to be the pattern that worked, and we just continued to that for the days that we fished and had a good time. So looks like we got a little cold snap coming through. So I would predict that these fish are going to still stay in that pattern. Water temperature is going to drop. I think it was about 70 degrees out there for the past week, and I'm probably going to drop another 5 to 10 maybe. Just depends on this wind and how cold it's going to get, but I think it's going to get in the 30s, so it's going to drop it real quick. So just be prepared for that, and kind of go from there. But my suggestion is probably wait till Wednesday or so after these winds die down for these fish to kind of acclimate to that weather. And but this next weekend it'll be warmed up. It should be good fishing again. Well, this is Captain Mike Haynes, Fishbones Charters out of Crystal River, Florida. Talk to you later.
All right. There you go,
sir.
Michael. All right. Now, Ron.
Yes,
remember
sir.
what we said. Come Wednesday, all the pressure is on who?
Mike. It's all on
You
Mike.
put all the pressure on me, huh?
Hey, this is a good part about this. We go with Mike. We can blame him if something goes wrong, but he can turn around and blame the poor girl.
Yeah, I'm gonna blame Misty, so that's all right. She'll be all right with it.
Yeah.
We will catch some speckled perch, I'm sure.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, how big? Give me an idea what the setup is for special. Is that what we're going after? Special speckled perch?
Well, I mean, it's just light tackle. I think about 6-pound test on very long, very light, ultralight tackle, light rods, light line, and slip bobbers, along with a jig head and Missouri minnow. So it's going to be very simple type of fishing, and we'll put in as many rods as possible, and hopefully all of us are picking them up at the same time, having a good time with it. But it's just kind of laid back, real easy. Enjoy your time and kind of go from there. So if you do have some really light rods you want to try out, bring them.
I don't have anything, but one thing that Ron was suggesting was that since it was your idea, that what? Let me finish. I really want to see how good Mike is at cleaning these fish.
Oh, I see.
In other words,
Well, that's not part of the price.
and actually, hey, we don't want a bunch. We figure Holta says if you could clean 50 or 75.
Oh, okay, that's it. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, we don't expect you to clean 100 or anything like that.
Oh, Lord.
Hey, look at this. Misty's on the she's on this. This is, don't let me down, fellas.
Yeah, there she goes.
We're not gonna let you down, Misty.
She gonna put the blame back on you guys.
Hey, the pressure's on you and Mike. We're just going there to do the show with you. We want to make you famous. Not Ron and I, but Ron is just going to do the show. It's up to you and Mike. The glory is for you guys. So if the glory's going to be for you guys, we expect the action from you guys.
There you go. There you go. Well, I think we'll have a great time no matter what. But
now, is it a long run on the lake where we're going? Do you know anything like that?
That I do know of one spot I fished with her before. It was not too bad of a run. I mean, 20, 30 minutes maybe. But they may have moved and she might have found them in different places. So I don't know. That'll be up to her. Well, like I said, we'll tell her either go slow or go fast and get the cold over with quick.
Well, no, I can tell you one thing. I'm going to layer up good.
Yeah, layer up good. Layer up good.
Yeah.
Yep. We could probably just put you on the back cooler back behind the console too and kind of block some of that wind. No, there's going to be nobody up front of the boat.
No, what I always do, hey, to show you the kind of captain I am, the kind of person I am, I always make sure that Ron's in front of me.
There you go.
I never put him behind me. That's not right. I think he should always be in front of me.
Yeah, that way I can see everything.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. That's the way it should be.
That's what he tells me, especially when it's raining. When it's raining, he likes for me to be up front.
There you go.
He says, I can bring you there, supply everything. The rest is up to you all. Okay.
She says not far, so
Not far.
not too bad.
Yeah, no,
not too bad.
listen, hey, behind Ron, I'm never cold.
Nope.
He's my up front man.
There you go.
Yep. And I even,
Or when it's raining. Hey, Ron, get on this side.
yeah, scoot over a little bit.
Yeah, he finally caught on. I used to tell him every time we went to take off, if it was cold, I tell him, Ron, we got to balance the boat. Get on my right or get on my left. And he would look at me and say, yeah, but I was on your right the whole time. We're going in the same direction. How come now I got to be on the left? The rain's coming from the left. Right?
Wherever the water's springing from.
There you go.
All right, guys, we had a good time. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. And thank you for all the great captains that and lady captains that give us their fishing report. And we're going to give you a little bit of an update of what happens this Wednesday, and hopefully get a nice little interview with Misty while we're at it too about everything she does. And then we're going to get a good look at how good of a fish cleaner Mike is.
Oh, and
yeah,
a fryer. He's got to fry him too.
Oh, I got to fry them too. Oh, geez. Well,
Hey,
I guess I gotta get some more oil.
I can tell you, he's going to go tomorrow. He's going to be getting those fillet knives really sharp and clean and ready to go. Oh yeah, no.
No, I hear you. Yeah.
The king of cleaning fish.
You know what? I'll do you a favor. I'll show you the first one, and then the rest is up to you.
No. I don't. I think we're there to support you. Okay.
There you go.
Right, Ron? We're there to support you, Mike.
Whatever he needs. Whatever he
All
needs.
right.
That's it.
Okay, guys. We'll see you next week. God bless. Thank you.
Thank y'all. Have a good
Take
week.
care.
Thanks, Hoda.